Welcome back, guys. Not all first impressions roles are about talking to people as soon as they come in the doors. And one of the most important of these roles is actually the cafe setup. And so I want to take just a moment to talk to you guys about what this looks like. It starts with the cafe counter. The cafe setup volunteer should be one of the first to arrive for first impressions. We recommend that you get here approximately a half hour before the start of service time. The reason for that is we would love to have this counter set up at least 15 minutes before service starts every time we have a service. The counter here should end up being set up to look just kind of like it is now. When you arrive and you're able to begin setting up, you'll notice things like the mints that are located here. Those are located in the first cabinet directly under my hand here, along with the refills on things such as the additives and sugars and whatnot for the coffee. Most of the materials, setup pieces, are going to be located in this central cabinet here. And then finally, the cups and the lids, which are here, are going to be located in the final cabinet directly underneath here. The syrup that is here, as well as the coffee itself, is going to be located in the kitchen, which we'll get to in just a moment. But before we head over there, I want to remind you guys of a couple of duties. It's not just the setup for cafe, but the cafe person should also be monitoring the counter throughout the services to make sure that we're not running low on something. If we are, please refill it as soon as possible. This goes really for all first impression staff, but the person who's on cafe should have an extra eye specifically towards it. Also, there is a built-in garbage can at this end of the counter. Please keep an eye on that as well. If that becomes full, please pull the bag and replace it before walking the garbage out to the dumpster located in the front of the building in the parking lot. And also, over by the drinking fountain over here, there is a cup dispenser. Please make sure that the cups in those dispensers are also filled. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the second part of the cafe setup located in the kitchen. Alright guys, as for the preparation needed inside of the kitchen, the first thing to remember is that everything you're going to need is located directly around the coffee machine, either to the cabinets on the left-hand side or underneath the coffee maker. The first thing you're going to want to do when you come into the kitchen to prepare is to turn on the coffee machine. This is done simply by pressing the yellow on-off button located on the machine and then making sure that it states that it is preparing to brew the coffee. Then you'll reach down and retrieve one of the canisters located on the left-hand side underneath. There's 3 different canisters to choose from. The first one houses regular coffee and will be denoted by having a dark red circle that says regular on the lid. The second is for decaf coffee and will have either an orange lid or orange tip. The final one does not have any markings on the lid, but it will say water on the front of the canister. This is the one for the hot water. To brew the coffee, what you want to do is first remove the canister that's hanging underneath the coffee maker, place in it one of the filters located from the top drawer, and then putting in 3 scoops of either the regular or decaf coffee. Simply replace the canister and place the final canister underneath of the appropriate type. Then press either the brew left or brew right green buttons located on the coffee machine. It should immediately begin to brew the coffee and will take approximately 5 minutes to complete each pot. You can do up to 2 pots at the same time. As for the hot water, to fill this, please place it underneath the red hot water spigot located on the coffee machine and hold it down until the canister is full. If you accidentally put coffee in a hot water canister, we will need to wash it with soap and water thoroughly so that the flavor of the coffee does not alter the flavor of the water in future usage. Finally, when you are complete, you will find the syrups for the coffee also located on the countertop next to the coffee machine. These should all be taken out to the counter for general distribution out in the lobby space. When everything is done at the end of the services, part of the job of the cafe volunteer is to gather up what is needed, unless it's needed for the following service, brought back into the kitchen or housed away, cleaned up, and the coffee pots thoroughly cleaned, dried, and replaced where everything is put back where it was originally found. This is particularly important because this building is used for other purposes throughout the week and sometimes by people who are not directly involved with the church at large. If you have any questions about cafe setup or teardown, or any other procedural questions, please don't hesitate to ask myself, Jerry, your team lead, or another First Impressions team member. Thanks.